From athlete to web owner and almost everything in between, Stuart Cram has done it all from A to W in the sport of gymnastics in Saskatchewan. You could also add a Y for the YMCA in Saskatoon, where he got his start in the sport. He competed as a gymnast from 1962 to 1975, attending the National Junior Men's Championships in 1963 and 1964. Cram capped off his competitive career at the 1975 Western Canada Summer Games in Regina.
After those national championships, I didn't compete nearly as much. I became more of a coach and just trained on the side, but still liked the idea of performing. In 1975, we hosted the Western Canada Games here in Regina, and I was lucky enough to be able to qualify for that team, and turned out to be the oldest person in the competition at age 28.
Despite his success, he made his biggest impact on the sport following his retirement as an athlete. Staying involved in competitive gymnastics, he turned his attention to coaching and judging, as well as the administrative side of the sport.
Once you reach a certain level, you start helping others, and they help you, if the older ones, and so it became a real community for me. And as I got older, it was a good chance to give back, so I became coach in Saskatoon, and then after getting married, we moved to Swift Current and started a club there. Came to Regina about 1972, where I went back to the Y here, and I coached a lot of boys and still keep in touch with them. And mid-70s, Queen City Kinsmen Club started, and I joined them, and I've been affiliated with them ever since as a club, a coach, volunteer, judge, president, all those little things that make the sport run.
As the sport grew and evolved, new technologies and equipment were introduced. To help local gymnasts keep pace, Cram designed and built several pieces of training equipment.
The sport was really growing then internationally, and the demands. The floor exercise, for example, everybody used to train and compete on the floor. Then they added a rubberized mat, and then the idea came to have springs underneath that. So it was a false floor that absorbed the shock and was much safer for the athletes. So they were just coming in and were fairly expensive. So for Regina, I designed our first one, and we bought all the rubber to put underneath it and the plywood, and 2 days later we had our floor.
His ingenuity didn't stop there. On the strength of his teaching background in math and computer science, Cram saw an opportunity to improve the lengthy chore of manually tabulating gymnastics scores.
One of the difficulties before the mid-70s was the fact that tabulating all the scores took a long time by hand, and to get it accurate and rapidly there, people were waiting a long time. So I saw an opportunity to combine the computer, get the results quickly and accurately. I wrote a program back then that we used first in 1981 at the National Championships. They liked it, and we've been doing it ever since.
Perhaps one of his greatest accomplishments was helping grow gymnastics in the province. In the mid-1970s, he took a more active role in promoting gymnastics throughout the province. In 1 year, the number of registered gymnasts in the province grew from 80 to more than 800. He also takes great pride in the people that have continued in the sport.
I think the best thing that I treasure from gymnastics are the people I meet, and the younger people that I've worked with who have made a career in the sport. I mentioned before that some of them are coaches within the clubs, either here in the province or outside, or at the international level, with Cirque du Soleil, for example, the training or coaching there. There's a multitude of people that have been influenced, have had the influence of our sport to say, this is what I want to stay with.
Today, he still remains involved in the sport. His website, gymscoredepot.ca, is a key source for people looking for historical results from more than 300 gymnastics competitions. Installed in the Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame on September 30th, 2017, Stuart Cram.